Alright, here we are a couple days before the Derby. I've done a lot of breaking this race down, and I'm going to do a little bit of a analysis with quick bullet points on all these horses, and then maybe later tonight or tomorrow we'll get down to the nitty gritty and then break down some superfecta plays. West Side Bernie. He's got a good 2-year-old pattern. I like the way the horse has been consistently competing against good competition. He had a wide trip in the wood, and he still was right there second. If I Want Revenge doesn't run a big race, he's there. He's going to be a big price. He's going to be underneath the ticket. Don't think he can win. Second, third, or fourth, definitely a shot. Musket Man, I'm going to go ahead and say that this horse is going to bounce off of his best race. I think he's reached his plateau. He made a pretty big jump from his Tampa race to the Illinois Derby. For him to make that jump again, it's not normally the way that these horses run. I'm going to take that horse as a bouncer. He's going to be a little bit of a smart play from people, and he's out. Mr. Hot Stuff, too slow. I actually like the horse a lot. I played him in the Santa Anita Derby, but I don't like all three of those horses, so he running third against Candyman and Pioneer of the Nile. He's got to be out. Advice, way too slow. He had an inside trip the whole way at Keeneland, which was a great ride by his jockey. He's not going to get that same trip. Not going to get there. He doesn't have the speed. Hold Me Back. Hold Me Back needs to make a huge improvement in order to be in contention in this race. I don't see it happening. Throwing him out. I think he's actually going to be good on turf. Freeze and Fire. This horse is likely to hit the board. I think that he's more likely than others. He's got to be in your play. Papa Clem was slow at 2 years old, made a big jump and has progressed steadily, but he's coming off a big effort, and that big effort is only 3 weeks ago. It's going to be tough for him to bounce back and run a big race. Mind That Bird, I think he's up for an improvement and should run a little bit better. He's ready to run his biggest speed figure of his career. It's not even going to be close to win the Kentucky Derby. Join the Dance. I wish he was in here by himself because he's going to be forwardly placed and probably had a good chance of hitting the board, but he's going to be the rabbit for Dunkirk. That may compromise his chances. However, if the track is wet, 50-1, front-running style, he could stick around to hit the board. Worth being on the bottom of the ticket. Regal Ransom, I talked about him in the last show, but I'm going to tell you something. The more I see this horse, the more I like him. He was the best 2-year-old out of the groups racing in the Derby. He's ready to run his best speed figure. He's already beaten Desert Party, and he's working tremendous. 30-1, he will be keyed on top of some of my plays. Chocolate Candy, throwing him out. He's going to be coming from too far behind. He's not fast enough to compete with these horses. Don't like him. General Quarters is likely to bounce. He ran a couple of big races early in the year. Further improvement is necessary for him to win the Derby. I don't see it happening. Bouncing him, throwing him out. I Want Revenge, fastest horse in the race. He's got to be in your play. Atomic Rain, too slow. Dunkirk looks good. Should be running big around the turn, right where he needs to be. If he flattens out, he can get beat. He's going to be on my ticket. Pioneer of the Nile, I think he's too slow. I don't know that he's going to be able to jump forward enough to overcome the speed figures he's already had. While he has beaten other horses, he's going to be a low odd with Gomez and Baffert, throwing him out. Summer Bird is going to bounce off a huge performance, lifetime best, 20-point jump. If he makes another 10-point jump, he'll be going against handicapping trends that have been going on forever. Nowhere to Hide is too slow, hasn't shown any reason to improve. He might finish towards the back of the pack. Desert Party, if he moves forward off of his last race, he's a contender. I don't see that happening. I think he regresses off of this race. A bounce is likely, coming off of his best lifetime race. Was not very good at 2, and he's coming into this race after being beaten. They say he's looking good, maybe worth a play, but I'm probably going to stay away from him. And Flying Private, he's just too slow to compete with these horses. He does have Lucas and some of that stuff, but that's just a couple of bullet points on the horses that I like. So, looking at that, I'm definitely going to be playing Regal Ransom on top. You know you're going to be getting a call from him coming around the turn. He's going to be in position. Whether he's good enough, I don't know. The horses that I have him with are Regal Ransom on top of Freezing Fire, Dunkirk, I Want Revenge, Join the Dance, Westside Bernie, and Papa Clem. That's if you key Regal Ransom, that's a $12, $2 exacta key. So that's a play to keep an eye on. I'm going to break it down a little bit more in the next show, but for me, at this point of the game, Thursday afternoon, it's about Regal Ransom, and the rest of those horses could win, but I'm going to key Regal Ransom. A bet that I like also is the pick 3. We're going to go with 2 horses in the Oaks, the 2 big fillies. We're going to solo Einstein in the Woodford Reserve, and I'm going to put Regal Ransom with a couple horses in the pick 3. So that's a bet to look out for. It should pay very well with the Derby odds being great. And let me tell you something. We're gambling here. Regal Ransom is 30 to 1. Anybody can tell you to bet I Want Revenge, but at 30 to 1, Regal Ransom's the play.